I did something this week, guys. I did something. This is a first for our show here. There's gonna be a lot of firsts because it's only our third episode. I made a little bit of a listicle. I'm doing kind of a segment for those of you who listen to sports chat radio a lot. They do these kind of things on the radio. You're gonna hear these things. So I did a thing for me and my fellow Yankee fans where I made a rooting guide for the postseason. It's a top 5 countdown. Because, you know, the Yankee fans like myself and like you, Mike, we find ourselves in the very unfamiliar position of not knowing who to root for because our team's not in it right now. So I did a top 5 countdown of who to root for as a Yankee fan this postseason. So are we ready to get this started? We don't have a Mike. Come on, man. You're throwing the logo up early here.
What?
And you're putting up on the full. Okay, number 5 is going to be the Baltimore
Orioles.
Oh, I thought you were ready. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say it and then do it, but anyway.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Well, no, you know what?
How to use StreamYard.
It's the third episode. We're new at this. Do we have to have the fucking logo on the whole screen too? Damn,
I don't know how to make it smaller. Yeah,
can you put us in? Can you put that in the corner and then us bigger again? Can you? Is there a way to do that? Find out live right now. Let's go.
I can do it as we're recording. This is the best I can get it.
All right, fine. Number 5, the Baltimore Orioles. All right, so.
I don't like
it. Yankee fans, they are in our own division. They're in our division. So I was hesitant to put this one on here, but look, let's face it. They were the team that people would just go to Camden Yards for free wins up until like a year or two ago. This team, they were the doormat of the division. Everyone made fun of them. They personally spotted the Yankees probably 10 or 12 extra wins a year every year. So like, look, the way I look at the Orioles is, you got to let your little brother have a shot at the postseason once in a while. Let your brother have a turn. Let him play. Root for the O's if you want. That's pretty cool. All right. Coming in at number 4.
Can I just comment on the Orioles as the Yankee fan? Can I comment?
Absolutely. Jump in, baby.
I have no rooting interest in the Orioles. Fuck them. So let's go to the
Whoa.
next.
Okay. All right, Mike. There we go. All right.
I will say this is like the most exciting season for the Orioles since the Baltimore riots.
Oh my God.
All right. Number 4, Arizona Diamondbacks. First, I want to say this to my fellow Yankee fans. Get over 2001. It was a long time ago. Get over it. All right.
No.
This team, no. We have to, because this team, look, think about this. This team doesn't make the playoffs a lot because they're in a really tough division. Yeah. And they managed to make it over the Giants and over the Padres, who a lot of people picked this year to make the playoffs.
Yes.
They're in a tough division out in the NL West, and they made it. I mean, good for them. Really, you have to just give them credit. You know, it's a smaller market team that doesn't have a lot of resources. And hey, they're there. They're in. And the first round, they faced the Brewers. They've got a shot to get eliminated by the Dodgers in the DS round.
Right.
Which they will.
Make the inevitable happen.
All right, coming in at number 3. Nope. There we go. Atlanta Braves, baby.
This hurts my heart.
I know, Brian. I mean, you could have written one for the Mets, but you didn't. I don't know. Yeah, the Braves. The reason why I'll say this is twofold. Is because you have the Yankees basically cocked blocked the Braves out of what would have been a dynasty in the late 90s. I mean, they did. The Braves were right in it with the Yankees almost every year. It felt like this team was awesome, and I'm talking about during the Smoltz, Chipper Jones era. And nowadays,
Chipper Jones.
Chipper Jones.
Just hear that name.
The 90s Braves were one of the most dominant.
Brian, if you need to like mute this just to not hurt yourself, it's okay. And also too, the Braves are everything that I want my team to be. The roster construction in the Braves is one of the best constructed rosters I think I've ever seen. They're exciting to watch. They're a juggernaut. They have Acuna, they have Olsen. This team just beats you in so many different ways. You know, they're fun to watch because they're just so awesome. And so you got to root for the Braves. You know what? The Yankees blocked them a little bit. We're not in it now. Let them have some fun.
And they're consistent. I mean, like, even in the last few years, like, they're consistently just in the top of our division too as well. So like,
a lot of young players. Ozzy Albies. I mean, what did you think of? There was a lot of commotion because of the Cubs announcers. They didn't like Acuna's 40-70 celebration. I didn't think it was a big deal. What did you think?
No one's ever done it before, so they can suck every inch of his dick. There we go. No, that's not.
They were in They weren't in Chicago; they were in Atlanta. So he has
Yeah.
every right to take the base. I mean, it's an historic moment. You know,
It was hilarious. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. No, that guy is a freaking legend.
I wish he was on the Yankees.
But speaking of wishing, I had first pick in my fantasy league. I picked Trey Turner over him. That was the biggest. I probably would have won my league if I would have done that. That was a huge mistake. But the thing, remember, he was coming off an injury beginning of the year, so no one actually knew if he was back. But he was back. Near the Braves, number 3. Got to root for them. Moving along to number 2. This one again could be controversial for Yankee fans. I'll say it right to the camera. Get over 03. Get over it. Okay, this team has only made the playoffs 4 times in their entire existence. Okay,
they usually win the World Series when they get there.
Yeah, yes. They're 2 for 3 in winning World Series when they make the playoffs, and maybe 2 for 4 this year. Who knows? Look, this is a young team. They're a fun team. They have some really killer young pitching. And it's cool. It's cool to see them, similar to what I said about the Diamondbacks. They're in a division with some bigger market teams, the Phillies, the Mets. Sorry again, Brian. And this is a team that scratch and claw their way, and they're in the playoffs, and you got to give them credit. And it's going to be fun to see that ballpark full for a game that's not a World Baseball Classic game. Okay, that's I mean, not to get mean, but I've been to that ballpark, and I was there. There were like 4,000 people there. This is like a couple summers ago.
Yeah,
well, they need a little excitement down there in Miami. Beautiful park. They deserve some playoff games.
Bobblehead Museum, right?
They have a bobblehead museum. They have some really interesting food because remember, it's Miami, and Miami is basically like North Cuba, a lot of like South American, Central American kind of food.
Yeah.
It's in one of the more interesting stadiums I've been to, for real. And I've been to a lot of ballparks.
We'd love to go there. We'd love to go to Miami.
It's great. We can get on sometime when the Yankees or Mets or somebody is playing against them, or
I'd be
World
down.
Baseball Classic.
That'd be cool.
Years. Yeah.
All
right.
Miami. Okay.
So do you have any response to that one, or do you? Are you okay with them?
It hurts my heart, but it is what it is. I would actually, I'd actually would like to see them go farther than the Braves, because like the Braves are just in terms of just rooting for another underdog. But anyway, it just makes me sad. it's just sad. It's just all around.
Yeah. 2 of my teams are in your division, Mike. I'm sorry about that.
I will say I do like Miami's City Connect uniforms. They wear that. It's like I forget what the team is. It was like an old school team, and they have like the red uniforms with the blue hat, and it's like a combo. You haven't a color combo, uniform combo. You never see.
Now, not to get completely off track, but you said this was a nice ballpark, because like I always either get this confused, because the Tampa Rays, they have like the worst ballpark, right?
That one I think is the actual worst of the ones I've been to. It's pretty awful.
I mean, it's consistently ranked as like the worst. Like consistently
for many reasons. It's like the worst. I could do a whole thing on that.
PNC is consistently ranked as the best, even though the Pirates are just the Pirates. But like
that's
consistently
for specifying. Yeah, Brian, you're absolutely right about that, by the way.
Yeah, and we should do a whole other episode about like ranking parks and stuff like that, because I've been reading a lot about that. But continue. Go ahead.
I've been to more than half of the parks in the league. When I get up to all 30, eventually I could do a Phill adventures at all 30 or something like that. And I mean, there might be more than 30, because if the A's move, then there's 31 cities. Anyway,
have you been to Fenway yet?
Yeah, I went when I was a little kid.
I've been by there.
I haven't been as an adult yet, but I went as a kid back when both the Yankees and Red Sox both sucked. You could get tickets for cheap back then, like the early 90s. So
they're going to be the surrounding area too. So once that's
surrounding area is cool.
Yeah,
you got some bars. Boston goes hard. Boston's a good city, man, for real.
It's a fun little city. Yeah,
I mean, Wrigley Field's definitely at the top of my list, and also too the Giants Stadium too as well.
That's number one for me of the ones I've been to. Giants is number one, and San Diego is probably number 2. But anyway, that's a different episode. But now my number 1 on this list though is going to be the Minnesota Twins.
Now that's saying something if you're a Yankee fan. If you're going to root for the Twins.
Well, then the reason why is because think about it, Mike, and you're a Yankee fan. How many times have the Yankees personally ended their season?
Every time.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's the answer, is every single fucking time.
Every time.
And so, look, this team has not won a playoff game since the George W. Bush administration. That is an actual fact.
When he was president or owner of the Rangers?
President. It was in 2004, and actually that was against the Yankees, I think, because then
they were just as embarrassing as the George W. Bush administration too.
Yeah, exactly. Getting political up in here. Look, here's the other thing too for Yankee fans. Provided they beat the Blue Jays, they're up against the Astros in round 1. You're gonna have to root for them whether you want or not.
Then I'm rooting for the Twins. That's fine.
Yeah, you owe it to the sport as a whole. You owe it to the state of Minnesota as a Yankee fan. Your team that's been your personal round 1 bye for decades. You got to root for the Twins. Number 1, as a Yankee fan, that's who you got to show up and root for the Twinkies, man. It is what it is. I'm in for it. So, any responses or rebuts or would you do this differently, Mike? What do you think?
Probably. I haven't thought this through at all. I don't even after the Yankees were out of it by June, I kind of gave up on the season. I'll admit. The Twins have terrible uniforms. I don't know why they ruined. Their
uniforms are hack, aren't they?
They're garbage. It's like everything is moving to like this minimalism, simplistic garbage, and it's just like if you look at this Twins logo, it's like 2D. It's like a layer on top of a layer. Now they're just doing it's just Twins in red. It looks like something you'd buy at Target, and they got the stupid fake M on there, like a made up M on there.
Well, it's funny because they play at Target Field. Huh?
There you go.
There you go.
All right. Let's take their logo off the screen. We don't need that anymore. As much as I probably am rooting for him this postseason, I don't need to make that any more of my night. All right.
What's the fight? Have all the teams made it? Because I was going to discuss
the seeding was done as of about 4 or 5 hours ago. I was originally going to put the Texas Rangers on here, but they lost today and lost their division. So fuck them. Fuck them for giving the Houston Astros a round 1 bye. All they had to do was win, and they didn't. They suck.